Welcome to the Secret Recipe Podcast. I'm your host, Mz.Skittlez. Hey, Secret Recipe Podcast audience. I absolutely love when I do these brand audits with some of my Gurl Mob members because I just think that if I had someone to inspire me, motivate me, and give me the information 11 years ago when I started, I would be much more successful and I would be much more confident about growing my business. So today I invited Ronika from Pretty Girls Wax Parlor, who is a 2-year Gurl Mob member, to the couch with me so that I can give her a brand audit. I just really love to sit with my Gurl Mob members and just understand like what Gurl Mob does for them because I know what it does for me as an owner. Yeah. And I think that so many more women would join a community if they actually heard from other women that were getting results inside of the community. And I think that, minority people, we are so quick to bash something before we tell people what's helping us. Yeah. Like we go to a good restaurant, we eat that food, the food where you're dancing like, oh, this food's so good. You dancing, you will walk away and be like, oh, that food was good. You eat some bad food or get bad customer service, you're trying to call corporate, you calling the owner, you writing a review. So I just want to make it popular and more common for women to share their experiences that can help the next woman. So tell me about how you found out about Gurl Mob and how has it helped your business?
So I found out about Gurl Mob. It was a conference, the Bloom conference, and I came with some friends. And when I came to the conference, it completely blew me away, for one. And it was like I connected with so many other like-minded women that was at the conference. So we had relationships still to this day. Yes. So and just the support of network, being an entrepreneur, being a single mom of 3, I find that, just that I'm not alone. I'm not by myself, So definitely, the inspiration, because sometimes it's hard, but you just get that inspiration from other moms, other entrepreneurs, even like yourself, that keep going. So that just give me the motivation, like, yeah, that's where I'm trying to be.
And did you feel like you had that sense of sisterhood and community before you joined Gurl Mob? Like, did you feel like you had a group of women that you could share your ideas with and it was a safe space? Did you feel like you had that before you joined Gurl Mob?
I felt like I had that within my own circle, within my own friends, but even brand, just expanding my network, it was more so like, this is where I'm trying to go. Yeah. So just having, just seeing other entrepreneurs and just 6-figure, in the industry that I am, like I want to be connected to that. So that was my motivation, is, even still just to be inspired by Gurl Mob.
And do you feel like Gurl Mob has made it easier for you to meet those people, find that information, get those connections?
Absolutely, yes. It's right at your fingertips. So absolutely, yes. Yes.
So you own a brick and mortar business,
yes,
which is so hard.
It is.
Like everybody right now just send her clap emojis in the comments because it is so hard to open a brick and mortar business and keep it open during the pandemic.
Yes.
When you are dealing with physical services.
Yes.
How has that been? How long did you open it and what was your struggle?
Okay, so I started out in a suite. I started out in Sandy Springs in a suite and I ended up moving to Jonesboro. And I was like, I wanted to stay in Sandy Springs. However, it was time for me to go to Jonesboro. And when I was in Jonesboro, I didn't have my clientele, but it was, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just build over here because this is where I'm at. Yeah. And I was able to, start in a suite and I was comfortable in the suite because I didn't think about opening up a building. Yeah. But God said, just look. And I'm like, what you mean, God? I don't have the funds for this. What you mean, look? He said, I didn't ask you that. I asked you, look. So when I looked and I saw this building, and it was the first building I saw, and I was like, oh my, I just felt like this was it.
Wow.
But I didn't have the finances. I didn't have the credit. I didn't have everything I needed to get in that business. I said, God, so what you want me to do now? So I reached out to a friend of mine and I said, friend, I need a favor. I don't ask you for anything, friend, but I need you to help me out. And she said, friend, it's in your account. It's in your account. It's in your account, and I've been trusting God. And I met a few people before I even got the keys, and I met someone, and I asked him. I just said, "Can you help me paint?" This guy came in, and not only did he help me paint, He helped me put walls up. He helped me paint. He helped me build a desk. I mean, it was like God said, if you build it, you know,
They will come.
They will come. And
Yes.
everybody just start pouring and giving me stuff. So, but I'm just on a wing and a prayer right now. You know, I've opened up the building in December. December 3rd was our grand opening.
Wow.
So, and like I said, I'm a single mom of 3, and it's been a journey, but I'm still trusting God and trusting the process.
Wow. And what is your biggest thing that you struggle with now?
Oh, social media, like, you know, just me, you know, going live, putting out content. I think that's my, you know, that's what I struggle with. If I can be transparent, yes.
I think so many people are good with starting a business, but then it's so many layers. You are the owner, you're the manufacturer, you are the service provider, you're the photographer, you got to create the content, you got to be the customer service rep. And I think that is when we start to feel like there's not enough time in a day to truly run our business, you know? And I think for you, like, I want you to understand that you're doing an amazing job, right? Enough people don't actually get even to where you are with a building and have that support to be like, oh my God, God told me to open this building. I don't even have the money. I don't know where I'm going to get the money from. And have a friend tell you, yes, girl.
She told me, but I had to meet the lady for the keys the next day at 12 o'clock. It was 11 o'clock. I'm still like, God, I'm in the shower like, God, who the ex? Who the ex, God? Who the ex? And he put in my spirit to ex a friend of mine. Wow. And I said, friend, I never asked you for anything, but I need it and I will pay you back. And I just paid her back. I just paid her back the full amount. So that felt, you know, it felt really good for me to, you know, pay her back. And also to know, like, she really had my back, because I'm like, God, you told me to look for this building, you know, and he said, I told you to look because I got something planned for you and something greater. So
wow,
I'm still on the wing and the prayer.
Wow,
now.
and that's how I feel about business too. Yes. Like, I feel like every day is still a wing and a prayer. Yes. Like, no matter if you have enough money, you may not have enough resources, you may not have enough information, you may not have the team that is needed. Like, sometimes, especially last year, right? As I opened my building and we're almost looking at 20,000 square feet. And obviously people come to my space, they look at the bakery and they're like, this building is phenomenal. We don't know how you do it, right? And sometimes I believe that my dream is actually bigger than the people that is here to hold up the dream. So I always find myself praying to God, bring me the people that will help me live out this dream that you gave me, because you are continuously giving me very big dreams and God is going to continuously give you bigger dreams. You just got to find those team of people that can love on your dream and help you build your dream while building their dream. And that's honestly what I dream of. Like, I want to build a team of people that want to build their dream within my dream, and we grow and scale together, because honestly I believe that what is owning a grape when you can be a part of a watermelon? What is owning a little tiny jet ski when you could be a part of a yacht? You know, like, I want to be a part of a yacht, of Amazon size business, no matter if it started at humble beginnings. And so you're starting at humble beginnings, but I truly believe that you will have locations everywhere, girl. I truly believe that you are going to use your business to pour into so many people, because just sitting here, I feel it. Like, I can see your heart, you know? And I think that that's so much more important than money and capital and skill set. It's, do you really have the heart of an entrepreneur? Do you really have the heart for the people? I always tell people that are around me, like, listen, entrepreneurship means if you can't do it with $0 in your bank account, don't do it. Because there's going to be those days when it's $0 in your bank account, negative in your bank account. You're going to be looking in the refrigerator like, okay, what I'm eating today, ice or water? Like, if you don't still, if you're not still motivated from doing something outside of money, then you don't need to be an entrepreneur. Go work a job. They'll pay you to come 9 to 5 it. But entrepreneurship requires a certain level of heart, determination, tenacity, resilience, like,
and faith. and a lot of faith.
A lot of faith.
A lot of faith. A lot of faith. You know, and I would say waxing for me is just to get the ladies in there. But I heal so many women when they come through those doors. And my mom, you know, I had a conversation with my mom, and she said, you know, I've been through when Pretty Girls Wax Parlor was built from so much pain. I was heartbroken. I buried my dad, so I was in so much. So it wasn't so pretty. So it was built out of pain because that was the only thing I had to get up.
Wow.
You know, besides my kids, like I had to pour into something because I was devastated. You know, I left my ex-fiance, so I was devastated by the news, and I became a single mom.
Wow.
You know, but that was for me to get up. So my mom said, you know, God put you through this so you can help other women who's going through those similar things. So a lot of women come through me that's broken, you know, that need that light, that need that encouragement, that need that inspiration, that I've been there, so I'm able to help them get through.
Yes.
You know,
so what was that moment? Because I feel like so many people go through something traumatic and they give up, or they give up on themselves, and like especially moms. Like I feel like, and God, I don't want to make this whole podcast about my mom, but I think that, you know, I created this podcast to just be super vulnerable and understand that everything that looks perfect online sometimes isn't really perfect inside. I seen a quote the other day that said, and then like, oh, made me want to flip over a couch. It was like, all the girls that's outside, are you only outside because you're suffering with something that's inside? And I was like, ooh, child, because I think that so many women get broken and go through traumatic experiences, but they piece themselves together behind the lashes and the wigs and the all of the things. And to put on this facade for the world and for your kids. Like, when is it okay for Black women to not be okay? When is it okay for Black women to not grieve, or to grieve openly, and to say, I don't got it figured out. I'm still like I just started this business. No, I don't got shipping figured out yet. Like, I'm not at Amazon level. Like, when is it okay for us to get super vulnerable? Because I feel like the world has conditioned us to put on this face, put on this act, put on this, hey, you're a Black girl, you have to have it together.
Yes.
How did you have it together for so long and not like give up, you know, with you being a mom? This episode and conversation is powered by Gurl Mob, a digital community for female entrepreneurs everywhere.
I would say, you know, I remember, you know, going through my breakup, and it was horrible. And my friend said, you got 3 days. So she told me I got 3 days. And those 3 days, I grieved, I cried, I screamed, you know, I just, everything. But after those 3 days, it was time for me to get up, and I poured everything that I could into my business, into Pretty Girls Wax Parlor. I poured it that was my light, that was my baby, you know. So that was like, but that was my baby. It was time for me to get up, and that was what I had to get up, you know. Besides my children, my business, and me healing so many women, they just was so happy to come just for being that safe space that I created, you know. And I'm like, oh wow. So it was helpful for me and them at that time. So it was, and I wanted to be, you know, entrepreneur.
And I think that you spoke about it so well. I think that we are conditioned as minority women to not have a breaking point. Like, we're conditioned to be like, we're the strongest person in the family, we the hustlers, we're the grinders. Like, when I lost my mother, I had a client's launch the very next day. And I flew after my mom's repast, after the party, after hugging my family. I got on a flight, I landed, I changed clothes, my driver picked me up, and I was at the grand opening of her launch like nothing happened. Like, I didn't just bury my mom. And I feel like I never took that time to really grieve and actually live in the moment, because when I have a whole world of people that I'm responsible for, a whole staff of people, and does my dream stop? But I feel like I want to create this dialogue where we understand that, why is that, right? Like, why is it that we are set up and conditioned to be where we can't stop, and we have to be strong, and we have to look put together, and we have to look like our business isn't falling apart, we have to look like everything is, and we have to look like the divorce didn't almost take us out, and we have to look like the breakup didn't almost, you know what I'm saying, made us lose our hair, but it's cool because we brought a wig on, and we did this, and we did all these other things. And it's like, when is the time that the world accepts us for what we're really going through.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And when is a time where we actually can sit back within ourselves and say, you know what? I'm really going through a moment.
Yeah.
All storms run out of rain,
Yes.
okay? All storms run out of rain, but while it's raining, let
Mm-hmm.
me sit here and feel and use this to become the best version of myself.
Yes, yes.
Woo!
Absolutely. And then I would say therapy too, because therapy helped me, just being a mom, coming from foster care. I'm a foster child from Baltimore.
Really?
Yes, my parents was drug addicts, so I was supposed to be a statistic, just supposed to be a statistic. My sister got killed through gang violence, so I'm not supposed to be here. So the life that I'm living now is like God showed me so much mercy, so yeah, therapy was much needed, just to heal the little girl inside of me first before I can move on to any relationship, to move on to anything.
Yes.
Therapy was much needed.
And what was the moment that you said, okay, yes, I came from a lot of trauma. I went through a lot. Like,
Yes.
people said I would be a statistic. People said I would give up. People said I wouldn't make it to where I am. People said, all of the things, but yet you still are here as a single mom and having a thriving business. What forced you to keep going? Because I truly believe that there's someone that is listening to this podcast right now that is on the edge of giving up, that is on the edge of listening to what the world has said about them, about you didn't come from a stable home, you didn't do this, you're not smart enough, you're not cute enough, you're not great enough. And here you are proving the world wrong. How did you do that?
I would say by the grace of God, just keeping God first. And even when I was a child, my grandmother instilled that in me, just pray and pray. And that's what I did, and God been leading me ever since, and just amazing women who came into my life, like my cosmetology teacher. We still in contact to this day. I got my license in 2005, but that was one of the ladies who came into my life and poured into me and saw something great. That was the one thing I could, I was doing hair at like 13 in the foster care, in the group homes. That was the one thing I could do to keep me away from fights, sleeping with, other people. It was like, cosmetology saved my life.
Wow.
And somebody don't understand that, but I'm like, coming from where I'm from, that saved my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. So girl, I set you down here to fix your business and fix your brand, and that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. But girl, you are fixing something inside of me, because I lost my sister, my senior year of high school. Yeah. She committed suicide. And I always question myself. Like, I always question, like, God, why you saved me? Like, why did you allow me to live throughout all that I went through when I thought, like, oh, any day now, what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, I think that my purpose is so much greater, which is why I created platforms like Gurl Mob, because I'm like, if he can do it for me, he can do it for anybody. Yes. If he can make me a millionaire, this girl from poor old East Cleveland, went to public schools, was counted out, was told I was ugly, everything under the sun. If he can do it for me and put me in a light to shine my light on others, he can do it for anyone. And so for me, I think that this episode is truly about understanding that you're looking at two women, or you're listening to two women that people would have assumed or counted out. And here we are, thriving entrepreneurs, even though she says on a wing and a prayer, but ain't nobody opening up a full brick and mortar business with multiple rooms, multiple suites, offering multiple services, and still operating on a wing and a prayer. So I'm super proud of you. Okay,
thank you.
So let's do your brand audit, because girl, it's getting real.
Yeah.
Okay, your Instagram is
Pretty Girls Wax Parlor.
Pretty Girls Wax Parlor. And you feel like you're struggling with?
I'm struggling with, I know I watch the courses, so I do know I need to be live and engaging more. I think my biggest thing, I would say, I'm not as engaging. And I'm kind of like in a shell when it comes to social media. If I can be honest, I'm just in my own little world.
Yes. So, okay, let's say this, right? First of all, I wish you guys can see this. please go to Pretty Girls Wax Parlor and look at her Instagram. Your location is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
So I can tell that you took a lot of time to put into your build out, your aesthetics, your branding, all of the things when it comes to the experience that the customer will feel when they walk through the door.
Yes.
But I don't feel that on your Instagram. So I do understand why you say, oh, I'm struggling with Instagram. And I honestly feel like you are thinking about it too hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Girl, you already have the building. You already have the beautiful, aesthetically pleasing location.
Yes.
You already have the customers. All you need to do is set up your tripod. And set up a ring light. That's it. Literally set up your tripod, set up a ring light, and film yourself talking to customers. Film your bad days. Film the days when you have one customer say, hey guys, I'm operating a full brick and mortar business, but I only got one customer today. That type of vulnerability, that type of transparency is going to make people be like, dang, what? This beautiful location, she only got one customer? Let me go and be her second customer. Let me go and be her third customer. Talk about the pain points. Talk about women's transformations of how, you know, Sarah came and sat in and she was going through a divorce and she was really like ready to give up. And after you done her wax, she's motivated. She's excited about life again. Like, I know that those you have those customers that will share those stories and just put two pink chairs together in your building and tell a story. It's more than a wax, right? And honestly, that could be the segment on the Instagram. It's more than a wax. Like getting a wax is more than a wax. It's therapy, it's healing, it's unveiling the layers, because that's what you're literally doing. You are ripping off the layers to people, pain and pressure and wanting them to live and be their best selves, right? So what if you just sat down with one of the girls that you service and asked them, so how do you feel today? Like, are you happy? What made you come in for a wax? What are you going through? Right? It just gave them advice. Those type of clips will be like, what? Oh, I'm going to her because I'm getting my bang for my buck instead of just going to another wax place where they're like counting me as another number and they're like, you know, I don't know, I don't get wax, so it's like oil, or what is it, wax, and they like just tear off and they're like, next. They're getting so much more from you. They're getting aesthetically pleasing building. They're getting amazing customer service. They're getting help by a single mother. They're getting help by someone that wish that they had the same service when they were starting. So why aren't you expressing that, right? I want you to find 3 other businesses that are very similar to yours and look at the type of content they're putting out. Look at the trending sounds. Look at what's working for them, because I can scroll on Instagram. This is a perfect audio, right? This audio, you can literally show when you were in your suite. I'm sure you have videos of that. You could show your grand opening. You could show you with your kids, like, you know, hugging them and supporting them. And then you could show you actually in your building. Like, as an entrepreneur, so many other people will be able to listen to that sound and resonate with your story of like, wow, this woman is still doing it. Because what we get stuck in, we get stuck in the fact that I've made it this far, right? But what we don't understand is there's somebody that is praying to literally be exactly where you are. There is a girl that is sitting there praying for the opportunity to open her building, get her license, pass cosmetology school, have her first client. And so what you think is, or what we take for granted as being something, I already had my first client, I need 20 more clients, I need 50 more clients. What about that girl that is sitting at home praying to God every day that they get their license to open their first building? So you showing people where you currently is going to bring people into the journey.
I say, I received that, so
So you gonna start doing it?
I am.
Okay.
Today.
Yes, today. And then I would just tell you, like, when you are posting, try to make it aesthetically pleasing, right? So what I would do is I would go, and this is for anybody that is listening or watching that has a business as well, If it was me, I would go and I would get pink robes, right, with my logo. And I would get, 3 or 4 of those. And every girl that I'm getting a testimonial from, I would make sure that they're in my pink robe. And then I would send them the video. Like, as I'm taking it, I would be like, hey, okay, can you do me a testimonial? Oh my God, my name is Ashley. I love Pretty Girls Wax Parlor. I literally feel so good when I come here. I have to come every 2 weeks. Like, this girl gets me together, right? And then I would airdrop it to them, and I would ask them, I will give you 10% off if you share this now to your story and tag me.
Okay.
What you're doing is you're opening yourself up to their audience. Their audience may be 10,000 people. Their audience may be 5,000 people. You're only posting on your page. You're only getting your audience to see it,
Yeah.
What other questions do you have?
Yeah, I would say that was like my weakness, just not being transparent and being online. I know it's something I need to work on, and just networking more, just going to different networking events, just being out there, being in the public.
Yes. And with Gurl Mob, girl, we got so many events in Atlanta. So it's no reason for you to block off your schedule Wednesday evenings to come to the bakery and like be around like-minded women, because that's also why I do these brand audits and why I do these hot seats is because I feel like more people need to learn from others. Like, we're always looking at our own grass and we're like, this is my grass. Why won't my grass grow? I'm literally doing everything. I'm watering it. But then you will sit over here and you'll watch her and you'll be like, oh, her grass is so green. What kind of fertilizer is she using? Or what kind of, if she sat down with you and said, girl, this is what I did. Like, this is what fertilizer I use. This is how many times I watered my grass. This is how many times I got help from others. This is the community that I learned from on how to be a great grass grower. Like, I think a lot of times we just sit in our own mess and we're just sitting in our own dark grass and we're not going out to get information from those that have done it before us, So I would literally tell you that I'm looking at your page. I'm looking at your work. You have amazing work. You have an amazing building. You just have to show it more. And also with you being in a very niche market, which is waxing,
And we do these things as well.
Oh, yeah.
Massages, facials, vajacials. Yes.
Okay, what's a vajacial?
Body contouring. So vajacial is like a facial, but for down there. So it's cleanse, hydrate, and tone. And then a lot of women suffer with like pigmentation, so we pretty much help them with that as well.
Okay, vajacials. Cool. So I think you need to show that, I think you need to not only show the services, and I think what I can see from your page is you are showing the services, but you're being a little discreet about it. Like, you might take a little picture or you might post a little tripod video, but you're not getting the angle, you're not filling up the screen, you're not maximizing on the content. So what I want you to do is I want you to go in Gurl Mob and I want you to look at all of the classes inside of Gurl Mob only about content. We have like 2 ebooks, the marketing playbook and the content playbook. I want you to literally read those from front to back about building out your content, because Instagram is free. Instagram is free. So you're telling me, right? You're telling me that you're currently on a free platform called Instagram. You're building an audience on Instagram, but you don't want to monetize that audience. I don't understand that, right? If you're posting, it's a business. If you're spending time doing something, it is a business. You should be monetizing it in some way. So you need to be looking at your content and say, who is my audience? Who am I trying to attract in my business? Who is my content providing a solution for, and create content that continuously provides that solution for your audience. And that is when you're going to start hearing the cha-ching, the cha-ching, the cha-ching. And in a year from now, me and you will be sitting on this couch and you're going to be like, this value that you gave me today literally changed the trajectory of my business. But I can pour into you. You have to use the recipe and the ingredients that I'm giving you to create your own secret recipe to grow in the Pretty Girls Wax Parlor.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, I'm holding you accountable, girl.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I'm on it. I'm on it.
So I hope you guys have learned so much. This episode has been everything.
Yes.
Ronika, Gurl Mob member, 2 years.
Yes.
Should they join Gurl Mob?
Absolutely. Absolutely join Gurl Mob. Absolutely. Please. Yes.
What are some things that you've learned from Gurl Mob that you felt like you may have not learned from any other community?
I would say just, you know, the genuineness, that's one thing. Because, you know, you go through these, you know, empowerment, you know, but it's not so friendly and inviting.
Yeah.
But everybody was so inviting and so, you know, just so willing to help. And actually, I met a lady who was trying to do my website, but I lost contact with her. But I met her here at the conference, and she was a Gurl Mob member, but she was so happy to help. Like, whatever you need, I can get your website to the next level. Like, but that's what I get from everybody in Gurl Mob. Not just you, not just her. It's the whole network. So I shade to Gurl Mob. Yes.
Yes, so definitely join Gurl Mob. It's GurlMob.com. People ask me, why did you spell girl with the U? Because yes, we are a bunch of girls, but the focus is always on you inside of Gurl Mob.
Yes.
So until the next episode, bye guys.